Welcome to the Ultimate Deadpool Studios, YOLOpark Transformers Reviews.
What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here, back with another YOLOpark Transformers figure review. Like I said in my last video when I reviewed Optimus Prime from G1, these are my brother's YOLOpark Transformers figures, not mine, so I'm going to be very, very careful with reviewing them today. But today we have G1 Megatron. I will eventually get my own versions of these same three figures, as well as a couple other smaller YOLOpark Transformers figures. So, before we get into Megatron himself, let's go ahead and get down to his accessories. Starting off with this battle-damaged front chest plate. No, you will not see me try to put this on him, because like I said, these are not mine. I don't want to risk breaking them. He also has an alternative faceplate. It's a little blurry, but you have an alternative faceplate. I believe it's called the Dark Star Saber. I can't remember what this exact weapon is called, but I want to say it's the Dark Star Saber. It basically is Megatron's version of a lightsaber. A different style pistol or firearm that Megatron uses from out G1. I believe this is what he actually used to kill Optimus Prime in the original G1 movie when he took Hot Rod hostage. And then you have his classic Energon mace, which has a lot of articulation actually, which is really cool. So you can actually have this swinging off like it's a chain in multiple directions. Just plugs into his wrist peg. And then a die-cast, I believe this was a Cybertron planet key, or Cybertronian planet key, or something. It's supposed to, I believe in the show, or at least in Transformers Prime, these activated what was it called? The Omega Lock to restore Cybertron to its full glory. I think that's what this is supposed to be. I, of course, could be wrong. So now that we have Megatron's accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and get down to Megatron himself. I am super excited for this. For those of you who don't know, Megatron is probably my favorite Decepticon, while Nemesis Prime comes in as a close second. Actually, no, it's probably Nemesis Prime and then Megatron. And then my favorite Autobots would be probably Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime, and then Optimus Prime, and then Bumblebee. Bumblebee and Optimus usually flip-flop from my personal favorites, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, Megatron. This guy is fairly hefty. He's not as heavy as Optimus, but he's pretty close. He still's got die-cast elements. I believe these forearm pieces are die-cast. His feet are definitely die-cast. I believe these inner skeletons for his legs are die-cast. This chest plate, I believe, is die-cast, and I believe some of the other smaller parts and pieces of him are also die-cast metal. Just like Optimus Prime, he has a crazy amount of articulation. Well, I say crazy, but he's got a good amount of articulation. So we'll get into all of that here in a little bit. Now let's start off with just looks. Obviously, this looks like a G1 Megatron. No, he does not transform. That is perfectly fine. These are essentially model kits or buildable action figures. So that's why I don't consider these model kits, because you don't have to glue anything, you don't have to paint anything, you don't have to screw anything together. You can just build it, snap out all the pieces together, and voila. Sorry about that. So, let's take a look at his back. He's got what would be his sight, I believe, for the gun part of Megatron, because this is supposed to be with Megatron when he's still actually transformed into a gun. I like it for those of you who don't know, I prefer Megatron to transform into a tank. To me, that just makes more sense. A tank going up against a big rig just makes more sense, rather than a small little gun going after a big rig. So, really nice dirt and grime and weathering on his clean chest plate, or non-battle damaged version. On his battle damage version, however, you still see some dirt and grime and stuff everywhere, but there's a lot of really nice sculpt work and damage done to the front of his chest plate. So if you want an idea of how that would look like, essentially, boom, there you go. That's essentially what it would look like. And then same thing for his alternative facial expression. This one reads more like the newer comic book style versus this is original G1 style with the very smooth lips and smooth chin, versus this one has more panel lines and more modern day features. So again, for reference, that is essentially what he would look like currently on the figure. Whenever I get my version of Megatron, he will probably have this faceplate on and not this one. Yes, he does have a light up feature. I believe he's in his cannon as well as his head, but we did not put button cell batteries in these things, so they do not light up currently, but they can. So, and then I believe on the back he's got a butt panel somewhere over here that can attach him to like a flight stand or something, so you can have him like in a mid-air style pose or something or other. So let's go ahead. Speaking of posing, let's go ahead and get down to his articulation. He's a little bit different than what Optimus Prime was, I'd say, because you know it's a different mold. So his head looks all the way forward like that. It's obviously pretty gappy, considering you're pulling his whole neck down. But he can look down at you like that. So if you want to have him like shooting an Autobot with his leg on his foot on his throat or something. You could definitely get that done. Swivel or rotate side to side a little, and then obviously it's on a ball joint, so you can basically get the equivalent of a ball joint. His arms do have a butterfly, so they go forward. So if you wanted to have him like clapping his hands together or something, or holding Optimus Prime by his neck or something, you could definitely get that done. His arms go up to about there. Rotate 360. A single bend. Actually, no, it is a double bend. Wait. Oh, no, it is a single bend, going basically the entire way. Articulated fingers, pointer finger and thumb. Same thing with his other side. His legs. Move these hip skirt pieces out of the way first, so that way you get the maximum range of motion. They do not drop down, unlike Optimus Prime. You could drop his legs down for a little bit more range, but with Megatron, you get the maximum movement up to about there. Swivel at his upper thigh. Same thing, just close up these panels and stuff when you're done. Double bend going the entire way. And even going outwards to there if you wanted to have Optimus like stomping his knee on the opposite direction for a really painful looking pose. And then a series of joints for his ankles. It's like on a ball joint / hinge. So you get some pivot, forward and back, and tilt, as well as toe articulation as well. His torso crunches forward to about there, going back about there. Swivel his midsection and a little bit up at his chest, as well as pivot side to side. So nice thing about yolopark Transformer figures is they are very posable. And if you're going to display them like how I would be displaying them, until obviously I use them for future videos, it's great because you can actually pull off some really nice poses with Optimus Prime, Megatron, or whoever you get with these yolopark figures. They do take a little bit to build, and whenever I start getting my own, we will of course build them up and on camera show you guys how to do it and everything else in between, or at least I'll build them off camera and then we'll go from there. That's probably how we'll end up doing it though. So yeah, all in all, I love Optimus Prime, don't get me wrong. The Optimus Prime that I reviewed yesterday, I do really liked. I did really enjoy reviewing him. So let's get those two standing side by side with each other. I know how stupid this is going to sound, but it's seriously, these two were meant to be displayed together. I will eventually be getting these uh, Yolopark Transformers figures along with Nemesis Prime. We'll review him tomorrow. But just know that, seriously, I am definitely getting at least these two because they are going to be my stand ins for G1 style Transformers for my Lego stop motion stuff that's hopefully coming back. These things are relatively perfectly scaled actually for Lego sized minifigures being about yay big. So they'd only come up to about here, which is honestly perfect for what I would use them for. And posability is great. And it's my way of kind of combining action figure based stuff with Lego stuff. So these two look really well together, and I am a little bit jealous at my brother for getting these things before I could. But he knew of them long before I did. I actually found out about yolopark because of my brother. And then I found some other yolopark videos on YouTube as well. More importantly, the Revenge of the Fallen Megatron that I have my eyes set on. But I can't do anything with that stuff right now. So for now, I will stick to admiring my brother's stuff from afar. So, again, shout out to him because he was the one who basically hooked me up and let me borrow his stuff for these videos. So, anyway, these two look really good standing next to each other. So let's go ahead and finish off with Megatron and give him one last good set of poses before we close off today's video. So here's one Megatron pose. Another pose out there for you guys. And finally, pose number 3. That's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of this yolopark Megatron. If you want this, go to yolopark.com and you should be able to pick him up for the same price as he was marketed at. I believe he might actually be sold out, so otherwise your best bet would be looking on eBay, or maybe Amazon might carry this guy, but yolopark.com directly would probably be your best bet. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys all next time when we review Nemesis Prime. Super excited about that video, so let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Bye.